So on the other end of the screen, I've got Cesith, our fellow YouTuber, longtime YouTuber, in fact, and streamer on Twitch. That is Cesith himself. Cesith, if you can give a short intro to everybody who's watching today.
Well. First of all, hello guys, how are you doing? And yeah, I'm an Arknights YouTuber. I've been doing it for over 2 years now. I'm also streaming Arknights for over 2 years. And I do like weird challenges, and I think that's the main theme of my channel. But I am not on the smart kind. I'm just a random dude that tries to make smart things, but it doesn't work all the time.
Hey, but then you said that you do it for more than 2 years. That means you started before me, right?
I started
when was the first time?
a month after Arknights released, and I started streaming. I started making content about it, and that's about it. Yeah.
Was that like the first game that you ever did?
No. I've been streaming for I would say I started in 2018 in December. That was the first stream I ever did.
Before COVID even happened.
Yeah, and my first videos I started uploading in 2015.
Oh,
most are unlisted though.
Okay. Is it like deep down secrets, or are you able to share what they may be?
Well, I shared them with my audience before, but what I used to do is my first videos were AMVs. I couldn't share because of copyright issues and stuff. But after AMVs, I want to be a YouTuber, right? And so I decided to be a German horror game Let's Player. And so I just played horror games for 3 years or 2 years.
So that was 2015 and 2018 until Arknights came along.
Yes. I had a break between 2017 to I would say 18. Maybe 18 I started. 18 was completely skipped. I started at the end of the year. So about 2 years there was a break.
That break was because you decided to just, I'll be away from YouTubing, or was it just real life matters?
It was, hey, I started an apprenticeship and I should probably focus on my apprenticeship.
Okay. But then 2018 came along, and then Arknights came along. So the curiosity here is then what got you to start Arknights?
Well, it's actually, I've been doing Let's Test Mondays on Twitch. Back then I didn't really have an audience. And we just played random games we saw in ads, or just games that looked interesting at Mondays. And then they didn't have a real audience. I had 4 or 5 people watching me, and I've been streaming for a year already. And I decided I want to play Arknights, and that day I got for the first time 20 viewers without a raid or anything. And
right.
Since then, I had good viewership. People really liked the game, and so I kept playing it.
So it started out from you saw this game, and then after you say, I'll test it. And then it became, oh wow, there's actually more people who likes this game, so why not I just stream it?
Yes. I really fell in love with the game, and people just also like to watch me, and it was just a perfect combination, so I just had to play more.
You remind me of when I first started streaming, Actually, when I first began streaming, I also was variety and all. I started in 2019, and then back then I also did something similar. I will play adventure games, I'll play horror games. One of the horror games I made a bit long lasting on my Twitch, right, was I actually played the entire FNAF series. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I stop at 4? Yes, I stopped at 4. But that back then I had the same idea. There was just very few people watching me and whatsoever. There was a sort of I think that when you said that you did a Let's Test Monday, I had that kind of idea going into Twitch as well, where I said, oh, maybe I should have something that's constant, that people will come back to watch. So I had this sort of idea where on Steam, right, you know how they have free weekends? So they will launch a free game that you can try and play, right? So I was thinking, oh, why don't I just always play the free game of the week, kind of thing. I've never lived that idea. But maybe I would someday from here on. Honestly, for all I know.
I think that is an amazing idea. I honestly like you don't have no control over what game you're gonna play. It's just what Steam gives you, and then you're gonna go
Then you just pick that and then you play, and it's really on you to entertain. Although, back then as a starting creator, knowing how to entertain isn't really our forte yet, but it was the young idea that I had when I first started streaming. And then I think I had a similar thing from you. It wasn't because I was testing Arknights. I started streaming Arknights because I liked the game. I played the game because I saw my online friends from Facebook playing it. So a lot of people were raving about it, They were like, oh my god, look at this character, look at this like storyline, look at this like next hit game. Then I was like, so curious, why is everyone that I have added on my like social media, for example, playing the game? So I said, I'll give it a try. Then lo and behold, I liked it. Most likely because it's strategy and tower defense, because I used to play a lot of tower defense. I honestly like Plant vs. Zombies. I also like Bloons Tower. Like those were the things that I played in my childhood, although I played all sorts of other games as well. But to have Arknights coming in, I was like, whoa, this is different from the usual tower defense I play. And then afterwards, I decided to play it, I decided to stream it, and then, yeah, that's pretty much like how we come about to where we are now today. How do you feel about the then and the now? So what did you feel when you first started, and looking back today, how is it?
Well, I start like do you mean like with content on YouTube and Twitch? How
you
like
can say I think we don't let's not go to the content first, just the game itself. How about that?
Good. Like in the beginning, let's just say I had like my 10 to 30 people that were watching me on Twitch, and it was really chill. But it didn't increase a lot. I was still making YouTube videos, but like I grew the most like at the dead period. The dead, what do we call it? The dead
weeks?
Not dead weeks. What like the dead part of the game when Genshin launched.
Oh,
the Dark Age.
Okay. I have a special term that I use on this like Hangout series already. I call it the Genshin migration. The time where everyone flocked as a freaking pack of birds into Genshin, yes.
Let's refer to it as Genshin migration. So I started about there making my tier lists, and that was the first thing on YouTube that actually got some attention.
Right.
And like I when I created tier list, I was pretty much aware that it will probably get more views than my other videos, but because of that, I can hope that other videos are gonna be watched now, get recommended, because there's one video that exploded, right? This is where I got more and more viewers that started coming from YouTube to my Twitch channel, and so I started to be able to grow. And I would say it's difficult. In the beginning, it was a little bit like it was cool, but there were like, I would say, meaner people there. I would say in the beginning it was a little bit meaner than it is now. Now it feels a lot more like a family.
Ooh. Okay, if you say that in the beginning you feel that there was some meanness, did you see where or why it was coming?
I would say like it's a new game. More people try it out, and I would say like I don't want to refer to just one age group, but I feel like a lot more kids played it. If I look at my viewer numbers of your age than now, and that I feel like most of the time, like kids are the reason why there could be toxicity in the game, or like one of the reasons.
I think you're right to say that when the game first started, it's new and all. So basically, the game has invited all types of players. So back then, if you have the players who may constitute the bad side of things, right? Yeah, you might see a lot more of them then, because they think the game should be played in a certain way, the game must be behaving in a certain way, and then that's where a lot of like sparks happen. And yeah, even when we first started Arknights, you started earlier than me, but for me, I started pretty much around the dark ages of Arknights. So I think back then there was just quite a bit of like happenings, a lot of arguments between players, even between creators. But after that, things start to chill down, things improve, and it's probably with the involvement of just whoever that was left that we all decided, let's just make this place a better place than what it was. We take a zero nuisance policy. We don't want any like controversies or anything. We just want to chill. We want to enjoy our game. That's it. So that was probably how the game grew from then. Even though AK is not the first game that you started streaming from, right? What got you to start streaming?
Start streaming in general or start streaming Arknights?
In general.
In general. Well, I've always wanted to be like a YouTuber since I was like a little boy. So I've seen streamers. I thought like, hey, that's a cool concept. If I play games, I recommend to everyone. everyone that just play games, why not just start up a stream? You don't even have to talk in it. There's always a chance to get random donations, so it's only a bonus. But I'd say I started streaming because I just like the concept of it. You can do it everywhere, because I really want to live in Japan one day. And if you have like a workplace that you can do anywhere in the world, then I think it's a good idea to try to make a living out of it.
Right. Was there people that you consider as your biggest influence back then?
Influence, I mean, there's still people that I look up to, like Smallland, Duck, and Sea-Dog are for me like probably the people that I look up the most. But back then, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there was like a specific streamer that was like, just because I saw him, I want to stream now.
So it was more personal motivation that you started streaming.
Yeah, I mean, every YouTuber did stream, so of course I'm also gonna give it a try.
I see. For me, when I started streaming, I wouldn't say that I thought of becoming a YouTuber or a streamer. It was actually never on my mind. If there was something that is similar that was on my mind, it was that I ever thought if there is a role I could play, it might be an entertainment role. But I wasn't very specific about it as to what kind of entertainment, I could be an actor, I could be an MC, but YouTube and streaming was really not there. Because when people tell me about it in the past, right, I usually have two reactions. My first reaction was, like, oh, come on, this kind of thing is probably like really easy. Because all you need to do is just turn on your camera, you play a game, and then you're gonna get some people coming in to watch you and all that kind of thing. Like, that was my first, like, thought of it. In fact, I often tell people that I disrespected streamers and YouTubers, even though I watch them, quite funnily. Because I'm like, okay, you know what? These guys got lucky, they grew big and everything. So it's gonna be just a matter of chance that you get to where you are. But then I also had the second impression where I just told people, nah, that can't be me. I can't be the guy on camera to entertain people because I don't think that's who I am and all. But the part that got me to start streaming it wasn't personal motivation. It was actually my friends who pushed me to stream. Because that's why when I asked you, like, when you started streaming, you started before COVID-19. Surprisingly, right, all the previous content creators that I hung out with. So, for example, like Viper, there was Zosex, there was quite a few people that I spoke to. They all started during the COVID-19 period. So it was the same as me. I also started like around the first year of COVID-19 because we were all in lockdown, right? So we had nothing better to do. We were stuck at home. So I wanted to do something useful or productive. And at that point in time, I bought my computer. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make full use of this beast that I buy. And so I said, I'm going to start music production. Guess what I felt? Like, no, I couldn't understand anything. I don't know what the frick I'm doing. I tried it for like 2 weeks, 1 month. I fiddled around and I'm like, this is just not for me. I need like a pure, proper coach, a pure teacher to tell me what in the world am I doing. But afterwards, I just dropped that. And then that's when my friends suggested to me, hey, why don't you just try streaming? I mean, you like playing games, don't you? So like, just go and stream. Again, I was like being pessimistic. I said, no, that's not for me. But I think they formed like a bit of a pact where they said, okay, there's 3 of us. We'll all start streaming together. You gotta join us. You have to be part of the trio. I said, okay, fine. I'll just try it. There's a personality trait of me that probably spurred me to stay in streaming, which is I'm a bit of you can say it's inquisitive, it's like curious kind, where I like to see things work or grow. So when I first started streaming, I told all my friends, like whatever friends that I have in real life, hey, I'm starting to stream, so come and watch me. And then they're like, oh, sure, we'll join you. And so at first you get some viewers. It's kind of similar to your point where you say like 5, 10, and then it became 0.
Yeah.
I was like, no one watching me. And I'm just there like, what the frick? I'm turning on my cam, I'm playing a game, but there's no one watching me. So what's the point of me being here if I'm streaming to ghosts? So I then said, I'm gonna focus a little bit more. I got curious, I started to like then think about, okay, what did the world gets people to even watch someone? So I started on that journey of like discovering, okay, what's the things that I should do when I stream, when I make videos. No, at that point in time, I haven't made videos because I only streamed first. But yeah, it was all about like discovering the ways to stream. And then before I know it, I got stuck. What was supposed to be for fun, just to try it out, became a little more serious when I realized I caught some regular viewers. It's like when one day you have a stream and then you do 7, 8 people. It's a small number of people watching you.
And
but then they're like
really nervous.
Yeah,
the first time ever 8 people was like something like I have like the same feeling as if I have now 200 people. You're like, you have those 8 people and you're like, fuck, what should I say? Damn it. No, I don't know what to do.
When you have the 5 to 8 people, right, you can imagine in real life, it's like these 5 people are in your room. They're like watching you, staring at you. And then what in the world should you be saying? And it's a very nerve-wracking thing. But like when you catch their intention and when you end the stream and they say, oh, looking forward to the next. And you're just there like, there's a next? Oh shit, I have a commitment now. Because these guys like to watch me. And that's when it's like a hole that I dig deeper and deeper. And then that's where the streaming thing started. The 3 friends, I was with 2 friends because we are the trio. The other 2 friends, they didn't continue streaming. They were not as glued to it. They weren't as curious. One of them really wanted to try streaming, but I think some form of like worry caught onto him. So he decided not to. And then now he's just focusing on his studies. The other one is just a good friend who's working a particular job right now. So yeah, that's like the way that I started streaming back then. So interesting of a contrast that yours was like you were really motivated by yourself, that you want to do it. For me, I come from I didn't even think of doing this. I'm just like, looks fun. And then that's where it happened.
So I have a question to you.
Sure.
I want to know. You have started streaming Arknights, right? You started with Arknights.
No, it was not my first game. My first game was a strategy game. It was real-time strategy, Red Alert 3. So I don't know if you've heard of the Command and Conquer series. You might see it on Steam, that kind of thing.
I probably have seen it, but yeah.
Yeah. It's basically like a wartime game. You know, you build your units, then you send them into the enemy space, you try to destroy it as fast as possible. That's like the kind of game that I played when I was younger. I also streamed Subnautica. I streamed horror games. So I don't remember if I streamed it. I don't think I did, but I know FNAF was a thing. I think I might have tried like 1 or 2 indie horror games. Were there anything else that I streamed? Oh, I used to play VR chat back then. So I actually streamed myself VR chat. Yeah.
It's courage. I was always scared of streaming VR chat, mainly because you never know what people say.
Oh, so of course.
Like, if I stream on Twitch, I'm like, wait, should I go now there or shouldn't I? I don't know.
What if you see something that you shouldn't see in VR chat and then you catch it on stream? Yeah. But I streamed VR chat in the past with my friends. I miss the game. When I tell people what's my favorite game, it's not Arknights. VR chat was my favorite game. I actually had a lot of fun meeting people from there. But
I learned Japanese there.
Oh yeah, they're very, very nice as well. But yeah, those were my first games. Why the question? So
I wanted to ask this because how long have you streamed for 0 viewers? That's what I'm curious.
0 viewers.
Of viewers are like 1 or 2, like pretty much not many.
So
like
I started
1 or 2, 3.
I think I turned on my stream around May or June. It's probably 2 to 3 months. So there's a reason why I feel that the 0 viewers, I can imagine yours was longer. Like, might be a lot longer.
Way longer.
Yeah. So, to be fair, I do feel that the reason why I didn't like go on the 0 viewer streak for that long was because now I was nervous to start Arknights back then. I had to call up that same friend that I mentioned within our trio that I said, hey, I've been playing this game, you know, I really want to like stream it, I want to show it to people, but I'm scared. And there was a reason why I was scared. There were a lot of big creators back then. So Tecton was still around, Zeus was still around, there was Beyond, there was like Xlice, I think this was his name. There was so many people streaming on Twitch. So for me to go in there, I personally didn't feel like I was a good player of Arknights. Like, I had a lot to learn. I still don't understand what the frick I'm doing in the game. But then my friend just said, nah, don't care about them, you know, just go in and give it a try and all. My biggest pressure, I feel, was the thought that there's going to be like the bigger creator people with their viewers porting into mine. Am I able to entertain them? Am I able to like interest them in any way? But with like some push, I did it. And I think I was also a little aware that when it comes to Twitch, right, in order for yourself to be seen more easily, you do need to pick a game that allows you to be visible. So what I mean by that is that for people who want to start streaming, for example, there are some games that they shouldn't start at. For instance, you don't play shooter games when you first start streaming. Why?
I mean, shooter games, the famous one, not the famous one. I think you can start shooter games, just not the ones that are like having, let's just say, 1,000 streams on.
Yes, exactly.
By anyone.
Especially if you're not a professional, you're not like the highest of ranks. You're not going to be seen. Even people highest of ranks today are not visible on the streaming platforms because of the fact that there's so many people streaming. Even if so on Twitch, right, you can sort the viewers high to low, low to high. Even if someone wants to say, okay, I want to watch a new streamer for today, then they swap, right? They go low to high. They're not just going to see like one stream with 0 viewers. They're going to see tens of streams with 0 viewers. So how in the world are people going to find you and just you? So when I look back at Arknights, even Arknights, actually Arknights today is a little bit more crowded. But back then in Arknights, there was so few people streaming. So I start to realize if there's any people who's curious or hungry to watch someone, that is a good game to actually go to because there's only so few people to watch. So eventually they're gonna like, let me just see this guy because I'm bored right now, and then they click it. And I mean, 0 viewers, even though it was like 2-3 months, I was definitely single digit for like another month, 1 to 3 months before the double digit started kicking in. Yeah, because that one needed time. So there's that. How would you describe it? Your time.
I'm gonna agree with you on this so bad. About Arknights. Like, Arknights is something really special on Twitch, I think. Like, the maximum volume of people that are interested in watching Arknights is a lot higher than the amount of people that are actually streaming it. And I feel like it's one of the best games to start off with streaming.
Yeah.
Like, if decent setup. It doesn't have to be amazing. If you have like a listenable microphone that people can understand you without having like some cracks in it that is like unbearable, then people will watch it. Like, there's so many people that like to watch live streams about Arknights that I think it's the best game out there, or at least the best game I know that you can grow on Twitch.
Yeah, it's very easy to tap on. Although I will also describe that it's kind of a process that the earlier streamers kind of came up with. This is a topic that I wanted to get to, where, to be fair, in the starting point of Arknights, I would be most familiar with like 3 of us in particular. It was myself, it was you, and it was Tugu. We were, when the Dark Ages happened, most prominently we were the 3 that just kept streaming the game. And
which is those 3, and that's about it. Like,
there were other people, but they were like on and off, I'm trying this game for today, then I'm gonna hop onto like Fate Grand, I'm gonna hop onto something else. But we were the ones that were committed. We said that we'll stick to this game. But I feel that streaming today in Arknights is a lot more open, especially because for all of us, especially like yourself and myself, we focus very hard on porting our YouTube side of viewers into Twitch. We promote our own streams even more, and then more people start to say, hey, I actually like this platform. I've got quite a few viewers nowadays who tell me like they've never tried Twitch, but it's because they watch my video and they say, I'll just come in and watch you, that they suddenly watch other streamers as well. That sort of thing. And I think the audience of AK today is a lot bigger. Because our own cap as in the higher limit of what people were watching back then. Maybe we had like 50 people, 70 people. Back then, when we watch, nowadays that goes in hundreds. That can go to 100, 200. There are some streamers that clocks even higher, and then on the big stuff, it can go over more than tens of hundreds. So streaming on Twitch has got a huge change, I feel, from then to now. Just on that similar topic on the 0 viewer. So out of curiosity, like, how did you feel back then?
Let's just say the one thing I hate about streaming is you start up with streaming but what you experience is not what actual streaming is. It's like until you have like your first repetitive viewers, like the first viewers that are always joining in, until you have them. Before streaming, it's like you stream to 0 people, you look into the camera if you have one, you talk into the microphone, knowing that no one is there, but if you don't talk in there, in case someone joins in and you're just quiet, they won't stay. So streaming is really depressive in the beginning if you don't have an audience already on YouTube. So I don't know.
But you started streaming first, right? Or you started YouTube first?
I started YouTube first. But like as I said, like with a German horror game Let's Plays. But then I had like a break and then I started with streaming.
I didn't start at YouTube first. Yeah, I started at Twitch first.
And so I like my first stream was a 24-hour stream on Twitch.
Oh my god!
I don't know why.
Why did you start 24 hours so early?
My first stream ever was like the first stream ever on Twitch was a 24-hour stream, which was not the greatest idea. But like at least I got like some friends in there that kept me a little bit going. But it was mainly I had like no viewers. There weren't people that I wasn't playing with. Like I played Rocket League, and the most people that were in there were like the people that I was playing with. So it was at least someone was there, but it was a little bit weird because you didn't talk with them. You talked with them on like over Discord. So yeah, but it was an interesting experience.
To sit through, because I shared my duration, how long do you feel that sort of like no viewership lasted?
I would say, when did I start streaming? I start like actively full-time streaming. I started in 2019 around September. I would say if we go from there, I'd say it was like 8 months, about that.
It would be very long.
Until
you need
you
need a lot of patience and persistence to say, even though I don't have anyone now, I'll just keep it going. And then like pull through until the day that the first regular viewer comes. Yeah, streaming is a lot of hard work. And it's that sort of process that I then grew the respect for streaming. I realized, it's not as easy as it seems. It isn't just get a camera, get a good mic and everything, and you kick off. You can suddenly get hundreds of viewers. So yeah, it humbled me a lot more, and then I start to grow the sort of love for all the content creators that are out there making the base that they have. Yeah. Oh, I recall that when I first started streaming also, I bought a lot of stuff. I think I immediately rushed to get a mic and a good camera because I started to realize, okay, if you do want to invite people into your stream as easily as possible, to me, actually, you can answer this question as well. What do you think is the most important part of a stream to do streaming properly? So some people say it's the game, some people say it's the camera and all. My answer is the microphone.
I would agree in most aspects of this, but where I would disagree, in case you happen to be like a pro player in like OSU or something, you wouldn't even need a microphone. If you are a pro player, you don't need a microphone. Then I think the gameplay is the most important thing if you're a professional. But for a normal person like you and me, the most important thing, I do agree, is a damn microphone. If you have good voice quality, people will be able to stay in.
Yeah, and I think people don't need to be afraid that they don't have a good voice as well. Some people will say, oh, what if I'm terrible in English? What if I can't speak very well? I get nervous and everything. But it's actually fine, the moment, as long as you sound crisp on the other end, and then people can at least hear you out and understand you. No one cares about how you sound like. Actually, even listening to someone speak is a joy, I feel. It is very much the reason why people want to watch streams. They just want to feel the company, largely, of someone that they like. And to have a voice that they can constantly hear, that's good enough. You see some of the big streamers or YouTubers in the past, some of them don't even have their face cam yet. Or VTubers even exist in the past. Or PNG tubers. Yeah. Everyone just stream with a goddamn voice.
Just stream, just get like a freaking PNG, draw yourself with it can be a scuffed drawing. Put yourself in the right corner with like a PNG, have like a decent microphone, and damn, your stream setup is already looking as like.
But although streaming has also a lot to do with you need to storytell to people, you need to be able to I think at the start it's like what you say when you have no viewers, you have to talk to basically nobody. But I kind of just kept up with it. I had to keep rambling. I had to keep commentating over my game until the point where someone comes in and they say hi. Then I'm just like, okay, I gotta invite this guy in. Come on in. Let's chat with you a little more. And if the guy disappears, okay, never mind. I'll try the next one. So like that's that.
I'm gonna be honest. I think like even though the depressing 0-viewer period is not really fun, it's still like one of the best things and important things. You learn to talk, like to just like maybe speaking a better English, like be more fluent in it, or you just learn to just talk about something random that you never thought you would talk about, but you can still make it somehow interesting. So like you can do storytelling without anyone talking with you, and that's really important to learn. If you can't talk without having anyone talking to you, you're gonna have a problem streaming because you will just sit there and say nothing.
Right. That is like the biggest challenge of streaming that puts us across. Now, as far as we have gone through that sort of phase, right? So from the time where you start to get, the first few viewers till now, how will you want to describe that? How do you feel through your streaming journey?
My streaming journey, I would say, stagnated until the first video, but as soon as like the first video popped off on YouTube, like my quality and everything just immediately increased. I don't know why, but as soon as I saw, hey, people like to watch my content, out of nowhere, everything got just a lot better. I don't know if I put more effort into it or if I just learned more, but like from 1 to 0, it just got a lot better. And not just in my videos, also in my streams. I felt like I just saw an increase in quality of like the normal stream I was producing.
Do you think it's because even though you say you're not sure, the curiosity part is, do you think it's because you might have gotten more confident?
Confidence is the most important thing. As soon as I that could be, yeah. That as soon as I got more viewers and people into the stream and my videos, maybe that was a reason to or a thing that to boost my confidence. That could be certainly like the reason.
So when I first began all of this, right, actually, to be fair, I was in a low of my life. The reason why I was in a low of my life is that I had a lot of like interpersonal problems. I'm someone who can make friends very easily, but there was a period of time, just like how you're in military conscription now, are you?
I mean, so what we have in Switzerland is like mandatory service in military, but there's like other ways around. I took the other way around, so I have to do something else, which is similar to military service.
Yeah, but so I also had to do that. In my country, there's also the mandatory conscription, and basically I had a training phase. But I've met a whole bunch of people there, and the sort of like rules over there is that when you're in the training phase, you can't get out of the camp. You see, you have to train there on all the weekdays. Only by the end of the weekday you can get back home. You can rest up in the weekend, you have to go back into training. So basically I'm seeing the same set of faces for like 5 days a week and no one else. I could barely use my phone as well because we were in training. So these people sadly were not the nicest of people I've ever met. I couldn't really befriend them. I didn't like their personality, they didn't like my personality. And it was quite like a rut because I was starting to question who I was, Because before that, I was a very like jovial, very like energetic person. I feel free. I can speak to anyone that I want easily, even strangers. But that was a time that I couldn't. So I felt like utter crap. I probably developed like mild anxiety back then. Even though it's not diagnosed, I'm pretty certain because I was literally panicking when I was during that point in time. But after a while, finally I got out of the training phase, and then that's when I met new people. So these new people were also the one that convinced me to start streaming. And I think streaming was the point that it got me to change and actually start to realize, hey, I'm not that bad of a person, I'm even entertaining the people who's on the screen right now. So we can just call it like it's bad luck that I've interacted with people that simply don't work for me. And I think that sort of confidence boost was such a helper in my life. Like I'm very grateful for all the viewers that I got back then. They don't know, none of them have directly helped me, but their sole presence is the spur on streams. And even like for the people who's watching this video, if you all have never supported streamers, whether it's just not just ourselves, but anyone at all, if you have the free time, your own presence really like liven up the mood, gets streamers to be so happy that they're doing what they do.
Good.
You feel the same way?
Actually, yeah, I actually relate to this so much because I would say something similar is happened to me as well. Like I was in a soccer club as a kid, and I got like in 5th class, I got like bullied there, and I lost a little bit of confidence there. I fell in love with Modern Warfare. I played a lot of games, and I kind of lost all my confidence. Like I had 0 left when I started apprenticeship. Sometimes I was struggling to go into like a building I was never in before because I was like, wait, is this the right building? Or wait, can I go in there? Everything. I was like a lost, not confident kid. And I was already a little bit older, but I had like 0 of it. And when I did like a mystic or something, I always said to myself, oh God, I'm too dumb and everything. And that wasn't really helping a lot. But when I started streaming and got more and more people in there, it somehow started to give me confidence again. And since then, like, I don't know, I'm so grateful to streaming, to people that joined in. It's amazing how much this helped me. I wouldn't be the person today if I wouldn't have started streaming. I might also be like, just now a not confident child again. But,
I thought about it. Yeah, I'm like, if I wasn't streaming now, because for you started apprenticeship. For me, in my country, we call it university. I don't think it's the same thing. Apprenticeship is like you have to do a job. Yeah, so for me, I'm studying. But I think to myself, like, you know, if I was in university now and I didn't have this sort of background, what would I be? Would I be the quiet person, the reserved person that I was, that fears interacting with people? Or will I actually be a little more outspoken? Like, if I describe myself in real life right now, I think the sort of confidence that doing this for so long has given to me is that I've grown comfortable to be okay that people may not like me for who I am. Because I think this is a struggle that a lot of young people have, right? When you're a kid, if you encounter someone who says that I don't like you and everything, then you start to get really like hurt, you know, you start to think, am I supposed to do something? Am I supposed to change and whatever? You know, and usually when that happens, it's not like the entire world exactly hates you at that point. You know, you might have a handful of people who just don't like who you are. But it's very difficult to overcome that. And I think it's like through the years of growing up, and then especially with the impact of streaming, that I start to realize you don't really need the entire place to like you. You know, it's going to be perfectly fine if you go to a place and you realize you can't make any friends there. One of the things that I would like to tell people about making friends, because sometimes on my own streams, I'll hear like stories of people who tell me they struggle with school and everything. And I just tell them, it's fine that you struggle with school and you feel like you make no friends, because I can blatantly tell them, I don't have much friends from school, being very frank. I do still have contacts of people that I can just hang out with, but I didn't have like as much as all these many other people that I see in school. At first it felt bad, but after a while I realized it's perfectly fine because you're just choosing the best people to be with, you know. Fine if you feel like you're in the state of life where, but Cookie, I have no one at all that likes me, then just find somewhere else. That's the reason why actually most of my friends are out of school. Because in the past, I actually interacted a lot with like anime communities and cosplay communities. So I actually made a lot of friends from conventions instead. So Singapore, we often hold like conventions like every quarter of the year. So I'll just be someone like a convention goer. And somehow, because I'm a bit outgoing, I'm okay to talk to strangers, that I meet friends that I still keep today, even after many years. So to me, it's just a matter of finding people in the right place, which is why I also bothered to create the Arknights community as hard as I can, so that people can find new faces. I think that's also the joy of me doing this for long, because now the community has grown so big. I have my own little server, and I see many people choosing to know each other in an online space. It's crazy to think of, you know. How could you possibly meet someone if, let's say, you're from the Philippines? How could you befriend someone from Germany, from US, from Australia, you know? But yet people are able to do so nowadays. And I think that's a feeling or an idea that I wish to push forth to others. Actually, yeah, we can move on to the aspect of community. Like, how do you find that sort of, how do you find the way that an AK community has been?
I was in the Rocket League community, I was in Honkai Impact community, and I would say out of all communities, the Arknights community is just like it feels like a family. Everyone is so nice to each other. Like, there's barely anyone being without a reason mean to someone. It's like there's no toxicity. And you hear so many new people trying out Arknights that they say it's the best game or like the best community they've ever seen. So like the community aspect itself, I think everyone can agree that it's probably the best thing about the game. In my opinion, it's the best thing about the game.
I feel that when I tell people, oh, Cookie, would you do YouTube for long and all? I mean, if you want to answer that sort of question, you're going to have a reason. And I think one of the strongest lingering reasons is the fact that this community is way too strong. I feel like literally, it sounds bad when you say that you're grabbed by ropes tied to you onto a wall, that kind of feeling. But that's pretty much how I feel. I'm basically stuck, but I don't mind it. It's been a joy to be a part of this community. And I mean, I would love to just help it to become even bigger than it is. So we'll talk about that sort of like, will we do this for long thing in a bit, because we've mentioned streaming, but that's also great to YouTube. So what got you to start YouTube?
YouTube. Well, I'm a person that I would say is I want to achieve my goals that I have in life. And I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, one of my stream video, that one of my goals is living in Japan. And I think YouTube and Twitch are probably like the best jobs you can possibly do to accomplish this dream. And so I liked doing YouTube videos like in 2015, and I liked the part of like everything about it. And so I thought like, hey, if I want to accomplish my dreams, I feel like trying YouTube might be the best bet I have. And that's
actually in 2015, was it really that prominent that people could easily become successful? I feel like 2015 was basically the year where it probably was around when PewDiePie started to make his break, where he started appearing all over on the news.
Wasn't it 2013? Where
like 13, is it?
I think it was Apocalypse was 2013. Like at 2015, I think it was already very, very prominent to actually make a living out of it.
So that was like what you saw. You basically saw that people could easily make a living out of YouTube, and that's when you say this could be something that I could do.
I mean, in 2015, like there, I started like without like having the goal of like moving to Japan. Like the goal to moving to Japan started like in 2016, 17, about there. And then I realized I should probably try it out to see if I have any chance on the platform, or if I just gonna fail. And if I fail, at least I don't regret that I tried it.
Oh, that's a good mindset, to just try, even if you fail. As long as you try, you wouldn't regret it. At least what's the outcome. To all the people there.
I see all the time, like I'm a person, I would love to try pretty much everything out in my life. Even if I don't like it, it's just there's some beauty to it to just get new experiences done. Like, for example, what would be a good one? Cross-dressing, for example. It was like, I was always intrigued on how it is, like if it's something that is like bad or good, or how does it feel. And so thanks to my community, eventually tried it out. It's a fun thing. I don't hate it, and it's just like you have to try it. Also with cosplaying, it's if you never tried and you feel like, hey, you could have tried it, and then you're gonna be like 70 years old in your chair and you're like, hey, fuck, I should have tried that. I don't want this feeling. So I just try everything out in my life that I can. Even if it's good or bad, it's a valuable life experience.
Yes, that's great to hear. And I think it's also good advice for like the people who's on stream as well. If any of you had fear of trying anything, it's not 100% success rate that whatever that you do on first try is gonna work. It's kind of Arknights as well, right? You don't actually pass everything on first try. Yeah, but like even if you want to learn something new, whether it's cooking or dancing or art or anything at all, it might take a few attempts, but why not just keep doing it until you see the little spark that, hey, this is working in somehow, and then you see what you want to do after that, moving on from there. So that's nice to hear as to the way that you've started YouTube and what you thought of it. Then you've got a long road ahead, actually, like from 2015 to now. That means you're on YouTube for 7 years.
Yeah, but 2015 to like 2018 wasn't the most active period.
Right.
Like I upload every once in a while, but it wasn't much going on. Like it was an on and off thing.
Then from the 2019 period to 2022 now, I can't believe it's so long. Has Arknights really been? Oh my god, Arknights has been 3 years, hasn't it? Like 19. Right, did it start in 19? It did, right? Oh no, it started in 2020.
Arknights came out 16th of January in 2020.
Yeah, so it's been technically 3 years because... am I counting right? No, 2 years only. Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, but however it is, it's been long. Then how will you describe this YouTube journey?
Well, I would say like my YouTube channel itself, like I'm actually very grateful. Like I do think of myself like as a very, very normal, not really entertaining person, but somehow people still watch like my content, and I just really appreciate that. And I didn't think it would actually like go so well. I hoped it would, but I didn't actually think it would happen, especially like after a year of like doing videos on YouTube with like getting maybe another 40 subscribers in like an entire year. Out of nowhere, getting so many new people to watch me is like, I can only be grateful for it. Like that's the only thing I can do.
Man, you started YouTube before streaming. For me, I started YouTube after streaming. Which for me, the reason for that is that, again, this was not personal motivation. This was actually someone else pushing me to do it. So I think you know Riprin. You might have seen him around. Riprin is a really small YouTuber himself, although he's also trying to expand his videos from time to time. But he was someone who had a personal conversation with me, and then he then said to me, because I think I mentioned on Twitch before that I want more people to be watching me, because curious question, if you only had to do one platform, would it be Twitch or YouTube?
That is like the hardest question ever. It depends, like with the current viewers, or like assuming that both would extremely go well.
Okay, wait. I changed the question. Would you only stream or would you only make videos?
That's the hardest thing to ask someone that makes every video is started from a stream. So it's like insanely hard. I can't see myself making a video without streaming the video itself. But I actually, it's hard. It's very, very hard. You go first. Tell me what you.
Okay. So for me, right, I've always enjoyed streaming. It was the first thing that I started, and back then, before I even began YouTube, I told people I didn't really want to do YouTube and all because it wasn't my thing. It's a lot of work to get videos out and all. But that was when the push happened, where Ripin just spoke to me and he said, "Hey, don't you want to get like more people watching you or something?" And I said, "Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if more people watch my stream?" And then he told me, "You gotta expand. You need to diversify, get your platforms out, be a little more known somewhere. You can't just stick to Twitch and Discord. No one discovers you on Discord." So he was saying things like, go to Reddit, go to YouTube, Facebook, whatever that is, which I basically did that. I expanded my socials a bit more by focusing on making videos on YouTube. But the way that YouTube has become for me is, holy crap, the YouTube grind is serious, I feel. YouTube is a very challenging place compared to Twitch. Twitch is more of, you're doing live entertainment. You're there, you need to be in the mood, you need to be happy and ready to tell stories for everybody who's watching you. But YouTube is different, YouTube, you need a sequence. You're trying to make a nice, concise video that people can watch and enjoy. And that involves editing. That involves the time to think, a bit of research, planning and all. So when I look at the two, I would still tell people that my favorite platform thus far has always been Twitch. Because this has always felt like my homeland. I feel myself. I don't feel restricted. I don't feel nervous. I get nervous when I make videos a lot of the times. Especially if because my videos are not like taken from stream. Sometimes they are taken from stream into YouTube, but other times it's like me talking. And even though I'm talking to you right now, it feels very natural and all.
Yeah.
If I'm just filming a video where I'm the only one on the camera and I need to talk about something, whether it's maybe display an operator, I don't know, talk about news, I get super nervous real quick. It's weird. It's weird that I get nervous when filming a video, but I don't get nervous when I stream. So, never really understood why, but yeah, I will definitely prefer streaming over making videos.
Okay, well, for me, I kind of decided on both. Like, I would agree that making or starting a live stream is, I would say, a little bit more fun. But I would probably choose YouTube. Mainly because the way I view YouTube is like a collection of like let's just say stuff I created. It's like my art collection. It's like you can see how I grew, how I like made progress as a person, how I got more confidence and everything. And it's like a library of like how everything in my life went. And like if I'm no more, there's like still my YouTube channel that people will always be able to come back and see, hey, I created this. And even if I'm like 50 or 40 years old, I can be like, hey, look at those videos. I created those. I am very proud of every single one of these. And it's like a collection of stuff that I'm just really, really proud of. And
I get your idea.
Because of that, I would say YouTube. It's a lot more nerve-wracking to make a video. A lot more like a lot harder to make a good video. But I would choose YouTube over Twitch in that case.
Very, very interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be people who will agree that YouTube would be better as well. Some people have even more confidence when they do YouTube. You know, some people will say, if I do live streams, I don't really know what I want to talk on a live stream. So differing stuff, but that's all fine. Through your time of doing this social media, right, do you feel that you created a persona?
Kinda. Like,
So how
I
would
kind
you
of got rid of
describe
that. Like, I kind of killed the persona in this video right now, but like, I would say I try to get myself or to show the people that I'm a very confident person. I feel like the persona or like just in general, I want to show people, hey, just be confident. I'm a very confident, and if you are, actually a lot of things are a lot easier. And I think also, can you say persona like if I'm the type of like say, just do it, like cross-dressing, everything, like don't regret it, just give it a try. It's not really persona, but like I'm a person that don't really regret stuff. I'm happy that I tried it out.
As in, when we talk about the idea of having a persona or basically an image when you stream, do you feel like the way that you are on videos or stream is very different from your real life self?
Not very different. I just get myself to show myself. I show myself a little bit more confidence in real life. But beside confidence, there's nothing else different. Like I'm like exactly the same in real life than I am alive. I would just say. Maybe my friends would have to answer this differently.
Right. But if I answer that like onto myself, sometimes I feel like when in real life I become a little more reserved, I become a little more closed up. You know, on stream and on videos is when I tell myself it's time for that burst of energy. You know, time to be the happiest person that you can be, time to pull off whatever jokes that comes out from your mind. It's quite interesting because some people might feel that, oh, this looks like it's an ability of being an internet comedian, for instance, to be able to crack jokes whenever you stream. But I don't really do that when I'm in real life. In real life, I tend to like just mellow down, just chill. You know, I don't want to think about all these like I need to be here to keep you happy kind of thought. It's a bit strange, but I mean, my mind is still pretty much the same when whether in real life or on camera. Yeah,
I agree with the like energy part. Like I think that's probably I would say everyone does it, right? To show yourself a little bit more like energetic, a little bit like always show yourself happy. Like people spend their free time on you, like when they watch you, and you want to make their time valuable. So I think every streamer is trying to show themselves happy or more energetic as they are in real life.
Oh, you remind me of
feel like they pretty much sleep there.
Yeah, you remind me of a motto that I tell myself. I tell this to my viewers as well. To anyone, not just content creators, anyone who is in any kind of business. If you make a product, you make a service or anything, you need to understand that what you're giving to people, they are spending the time to look at this. So for example, in a stream, you know, they spend their time in the day to hop in, to watch you. It's technically precious minutes or even hours that they spend. So considering that you're using that time of others, it's really that sort of onus on you to make the best out of their time. You know, I always tell my viewers that when I stream, my biggest concern right now is I'm here to entertain you. I'm here to make sure that you whatever that you're doing right now is worth it. So that's what keeps me going, and also what I advise to a lot of like even other like budding creators in the future. So that's that. I love that quote. I love that quote that you gave.
So to everyone that streams like this 1-person or 2-person Twitch right now, just think about this like this. you have two people that decided to not watch me or Cookie or XQC or whatever content creator out there. They decided to spend their time on you, and they decided that this time is more better than watching the other creators. And every single viewer that you have, doesn't matter how many, you should be very grateful for it. Like, really, it's crazy.
Yes, most certainly. Yeah, I feel that all throughout. Now we do a bit of a memory lane, reminisce the past of ourselves. What are some of your best or worst moments through your time of doing social media?
Wait, on Twitch and YouTube, or
any both?
Any both. Okay, so I would say I kinda missed the time to stream to like 2 or 3 people, because like I had like I like, they were super nice people, and it was super cool to have a conversation with them. They were always there, and like I always had like a struggle pressing on the stop button on like streaming. Like, it's most new content creators have this as well. Like, you have to click on start streaming. That's the hardest part about going live. But when you go live and you have like those 2-3 people there, and you have like the conversation with like those really kind people, I really, really missed it. Like, those times were really great. I still try to have like that connection with my viewers, but like if you have like under 50 to like 3 people, it's a little bit more challenging to build up the same connection to everyone than if you have like 3 people watching.
Yeah, I feel like the starting periods were like the humblest of times, when you see the same name appearing in the chat, you know. But nowadays it's different. Nowadays you see like all kinds of names appearing in your Twitch. If let's say you have even more viewers now. But I do get that. It's like this, looking back, it's watching yourself as that little child, the little baby, just growing up to whoever that you are today. And it can be a very nice feeling to have. Were there other best or worst moments?
Yeah, so let's just say the best moments are like, probably I'd say when I did collabs for like what I'm gonna upload soon, already spoiler, is a video where me and the content creators, for the voice acting thing, like, it was like, the way I selected content creators is like, we have a Discord there, and people were just able to sign up. The people were interested, were allowed to join in. I didn't say no to a single person, and was invited. And we did like just a session. We read through everything, and we had just a really, really great time. So that was an amazing thing. The chess tournament, Arknights chess tournament with streamers in 2020.
Oh my god, that was so long ago.
That is. Do you remember that? Like, were you already there?
I do. I wasn't in there, but like
you wasn't. But you were watching it, or
I think I was watching Shubi Senpai.
Oh yeah. So yeah, should we won? I think, right? It was amazing.
I didn't watch the finals, but I did watch a few of the rounds.
Yeah, that was freaking great. Like, I loved that. Like, the content creator collab I did was probably one of the best things. I would say the worst things is like when, based on like my fault, when like the first tier list, even though I'm really grateful that I made it, like, it wasn't good. It wasn't the best tier list. Like, I got a lot of hate from it for Reddit. Understandable. All right, the reason. Like, hate is the wrong word. Like, let's just say advice to improve it. And some were able to phrase it a little bit more nice, while others were a little bit more blatant. But that's understandable. It wasn't a good tier list. That was like one that I would say was like a little bit of a worse experience. And when I made like, I tried to make a serious video. I really tried to let's cover something important. And I fucked up. I'm not good at stuff like this. And like, I'm a person, like, there's 2 different kinds of people that like talk with knowing where they go when they start a sentence, and the other kind of people that just like, they say a word and go along with it and just don't know where this is going. And I'm the second kind of person. I feel like Cookie, you're the second one, that you think about ahead what you say, and that is such a great ability to have. And I can't do that, so I'm not good at making serious videos. Like, at least not on stream, unscripted. I'm not making any serious videos anymore. I'm not good at it.
Thinking ahead as I speak, as much as people can think it's a spring, right? Because you prepare what you want to say. So in my school, I entered a MCing competition. It's like a hosting competition. They give you a bunch of challenges. You go and stand out on the stage and try to do it. So I got a very interesting comment from one of the judges, because I was eliminated in a particular round. But I still live with the comment to today, because it is a very huge weakness, where he stated that I have a tendency to think before I speak. And while it's good because you make sure that you say the right things, it stops me because I start to get nervous about what I want to say and I need to backtrack. So that doesn't happen to me when I'm live streaming, but when I'm doing something that is super serious. So this is what I realize when I do video filming, for example. I say something, I'll think about what I say, and then I'll go back and fix it if I think it's wrong. And that's not what you should do on a hosting scenario. If you host a show, for example, and you make a mistake, even if you fumble, you don't need to overly backtrack and fix everything. You should just move forward. But that wasn't what I could do back then. Although, yeah, one can say it's a good thing, but planning scripts, not fun. I dropped writing scripts because people said that I have a scripted voice. It's like when you read something, people can hear that you're reading something.
I mean, I would say it's just practice. Like you can watch Kai's first video to now. You hear a lot it sounds a lot more scripted than nowadays, and it's just like a practice of how monotone you can make it sound. And sometimes you have a script that you read the first 3 words, you know where this is going, then you can just improve. What is the word? Improvise.
Yeah.
Then you can just improvise when you read half the sentence, and then it will just sound natural because you kind of read from it, but you kind of don't.
Yeah.
And I would say this thing.
This is something that I need to improve on. Even after 2 years of doing all of this, I'm not the best at it. When I think about what were my best and worst moments, my best moment, interestingly, it was also a collab. I did Among Us collabs in the past. It was actually really, really fun to hang out with various creators back then, to play a bunch of rounds.
But
sometimes I think back to those days.
Among Us thing.
Yeah. Sometimes I think back to that and I'm like, maybe I could play the game again, invite a bunch of people, because it'd be so fun. I actually love the game a lot. I have always actually, weirdly, I feel like some of my best moments in streaming and YouTubing, or specifically streaming, is when I play games that are not Arknights. Because it's a breath of fresh air. I played Danganronpa, and Danganronpa has become one of my favorite game titles thus far in so much of stuff. Because I've seen visual novel games, there wasn't a lot that I could pick up and say this is very memorable. But Danganronpa stuck with me. Left a hole in my heart basically. So those were very fun times because I was reading over all the voice lines. I was trying to get people to enjoy the story with me. I also streamed FNAF, the recent one, which was Help Wanted. That was the huge 3D world environment. It was actually really fun to play that game. I like playing out of the norm and actually enjoying more games. In fact, when I first started streaming, it wasn't like I want to become an Arknight streamer. I wanted to do variety. I want to just play everything and anything that I want. But it's not the easiest to do that because, for example, if I want to play anything that I want, how am I supposed to become a mobile game player like League of Legends or Dota? I'm not good at it. Same goes for shooter games. I tried Rainbow Six, I tried Val. It's not like I'm excelling in it. It's going to take time to get good at those games. But still, I think that sort of versatility to play whatever I want is something that I crave for. But if I just speak specifically about Arknights, some of the best moments for me, most certainly would be, I think I do remember a lot of days where there's a lot of people who are tuning in and watching it at the same time. So for example, when I do handhold streams, Neon Light was the worst. Well, it's ironic when I say it's worst because I'm saying it's the best moment, but it was the worst length of stream that I did because I did 4 hand-holding streams. It amounted to about 40 hours worth of hand-holding. And it's so tiring because you're you play the same stage at the same time. You'd imagine I get nightmares by the end of it. Thankfully, I didn't. But I think what made me happy was the fact that I just asked people, you guys aren't tired of seeing me do this same shit for so many hours over and over again? And then my viewers are just no, we're happy because we're here. I think that's something that makes me say, I'm happy to do what I do. I think in streaming, there is a sort of stepping stone that you need to take. At first you get people to recognize you, to know who you are and all. But eventually, one of your goal is to then translate these viewers to not just watch you because of the game that you play, but instead watch you because it's you. So that feeling when it comes to making videos and streaming, it's a very, very amazing one to get here and there. Those like are some of the bestest moments that I have. Even doing the watch-alongs, whether it's the JP live or CN live stream, those streams gets really huge. So I love the company of the people. When it comes to the worst moments of streaming, there were times that I could get a little bit upset with the viewers. So emotions can get in the way, and I don't like having emotions get in the way, especially when there's different opinions. So I try to have as civil of a discussion as possible. But of course, those are very unpleasant feelings to have, and I wouldn't want to do them all that much. Although even recently, there might be some viewers that come in and then they come in hot take. I dislike Arknights. And then everyone's just like, what? Why would you dislike Arknights? And then I have to go on and hold the battle about it. Are there any other super bad times? I don't consider this the worst moment. It's not like it's the worst thing that ever happened to me. But I often also tell people that I hate the fact that my most watched video was a controversy video. So my most watched video was the video about Chen Alter. I think it's like 160,000. And I think it's absurdly high. I'm like, no, this shouldn't be the best thing. Why is the best thing a negative thing? That's something I dislike, and that's why I also have that sort of goal to say, can I push something else to become even bigger? I told all my viewers, go and help me with my beginner's guide. Make it even more viewed than the Chen Alter one. It's not there yet, almost.
Really great. I am off really great with like my most viewed video. My most viewed video, I mean, should I be happy or sad about it? Like the first edit, my most viewed video is a video that I am actually not a big part of it. It's like me asking content creators things.
Oh,
that's the biggest thing I ever uploaded. Yeah, that was the biggest thing I ever uploaded. I think it's like 110 or 120,000.
How do you feel about it when you look back to it? Like what do you think of it?
I think it's the greatest thing I ever did on my channel. It's just like I don't know, like Arknights community like back then was just not connected. Like I didn't see anyone doing collabs, and I was like, okay, if no one does it, I'm gonna be like the collab person. And I feel like those videos really helped a lot in the community. I hope to believe that it had some kind of impact.
I would think so, because as we say, in the past, the community had a lot of discourse, a lot of problems that were wreaking in the place, but with such a bond within the remainder of the creators, I think you did a great part to at least get people to have that sort of feeling that there is the strength in the community. Although at that point in time, maybe not as strong as today, but it was the step to get it to grow even better than it is. I mean, when we look at today in terms of the connections, the connectiveness of the creators all across, it's a lot better now. We're chatting, we're trying to hang out. If we have problems, we will ask each other for opinions, review our script, all that sort of fun stuff. Yeah. And it's nicer of an environment. And I think when I spoke to even other people in my Hangout series, like this video that we're doing, I also told them that I have this innate goal as well, that this community, while it's strong, we honestly need to maintain it to be as strong as it can be. Reason being, we haven't had much interruptions, by like external forces, whether is it new creators or old creators returning, that sort of thing. But the moment when the anime kicks in, the moment when the end field gets into play, the environment will change, the community will change. New players are going to come in from the anime, they watch it, they're like, oh, I love this anime, I want to try this game. And then there might even be new creators coming in as well. And especially when Enfield comes. Enfield's going to be a huge game. RPG game, open world. There's going to be creators who want to try this game. And then they might just hop in and say, wait, this used to be Arknights, that used to be this game. Yeah. I do not wish to see whatever that happened in the beginning of Arknights to reoccur again in the future. And to me, the way to maintain that from happening is the fact that there is that sort of unity across all the creators. That we stand strong and we say that we don't really care about who's the next person that's going to come. If anything happens, we're going to just stand by each other. I think I felt that quite strongly when I did the video about the AK community being bad. If you recall that one, there was a comment that Tecton himself made. Yeah, the one that he reacted, and then afterwards he made a comment. So I made a response video, and I was quite happy to hear that a lot of people understood where I was coming from, and even for you guys, the creators, a lot of you messaged me as well. They're like, "Oh, how are you feeling, Cookie? Are you okay?" and everything. And I'm like, I'm fine. I know what I'm expecting out of doing this. And then afterwards, even he himself reacted. It wasn't a very good reaction, but I'm glad to see that there's that sort of response that I get, whether from the viewers or the creators. Because if I made such a video, let's say when the Genshin migration happened, it wouldn't be good. But it's better today. So
I honestly never thought about something like that. But like when Arknights anime launches or Enfield, I actually never thought about that. I might be scared of that time. Like, I feel like the Arknights community will be very welcoming to everyone that starts new, but like, Tectone, it might go, how is this? His words that the Arknights community is toxic might actually be true then, because I am afraid that people will actually try everything to gatekeep him away from it. And
exactly.
I'm very scared of that period. Like, I'm very sure everyone else will be, everyone in the community will welcome everyone, but like, I feel like there might be some heat going on as soon as Tecton comes back.
It might not even be a hit on him only. It could even be a hit on literally all the previous creators who may have, played AK at first, and then they left, and then they come back because they're like, oh, there's an Enfield.
I think the Arknights community will welcome them back. I really think it's just like Tecton because you think
it's just gonna be hit.
Yeah, that's my assumption. We don't know how this will turn out. Please do not harass anyone. It doesn't matter what they
just did. Play your own game.
If you
exactly.
With them, just leave the past behind. If you go and it's like someone comes back you didn't like or something, don't make it true that the Arknights community is toxic, because it's really not. And please do not gatekeep it in any way. It will not help. It will only give everyone a bad impression about us.
Exactly.
So
it's
be careful about that.
It will only reinforce the false impression that AK is apparently a toxic place. By gatekeeping him, we're reinforcing his statement that isn't true today, but you're only gonna make it look true. So don't do anything. We welcome everyone. We welcome all new faces. We even welcome, anyone at all who may become a potential troublemaker in the future. I mean, it's not just going to be like anyone that we may be familiar with. There might be new faces as well, and then they can cause problems, ruckuses that rocks the community. But however, the importance here is to stand strong to whatever that occurs in the future. And that's like my hope, to get this community, viewers, creators, anyone alike, to come together. Looking at this, right? What do you foresee as the future of Arknights going forth?
It's difficult. It's like it really depends on how Enfield will what kind of job Enfield will do. Like, maybe it's gonna be like a Genshin thing, that like it's actually gonna be really hyped and everyone loves it, with like unique character design, amazing gameplay and everything. It will go really well and it will benefit the community a lot. But it could also be that like it's like a little witch thing or revived witch thing, that hey, everyone loves it for a week and then you pretty much hear nothing about it. It was a great game, but it just fell under the rock for somehow.
Oh my god, I'm so surprised. My brain needed to click like, oh my god, yeah, this game existed. Man,
Revived Witch was an amazing game. Like, I still think it was one of the best mobile games I've ever played. I played one time because my Wi-Fi always keeps crashing for like every 2 minutes. But like, that game had an amazing story, amazing characters. It was super fun. Music was great, and it just like didn't pop off for some reason. I don't get it. It was a great game.
Do you think it just didn't have as good of a hook? So it was a nice to pull the interest of the people, but it didn't have enough of a glue to make people just stay in the game.
It's difficult to answer that. Like everyone was talking about it. Everyone said like they want to know more about the story. Even I read the story because it was so cute and beautiful. But it could be that there wasn't enough glue to it. But I also feel like it wasn't just enough people that actually, like, content creators that decided, hey, I want to keep playing this game. And I feel like that might have been a reason because no big content creators decided to give it a try, and the people that gave it a try just stopped streaming it.
Right.
I don't know what the reason was. It deserved definitely more than it got.
There's a lot of games actually, not just Revive Witch. I think many stuff came out around that point in time, and then they didn't get the attention. It's a bit strange, but yeah, it goes to say that it's not. I don't think it's the onus on the creators. To be fair, it's also the duty of the game developers themselves to figure a way to market their game as hard as possible to make it successful.
Yeah.
Which may not be what Revive Witch did.
Yeah, it could be definitely the lead of the company itself that also wore it down. Like, they had some ads, but I don't think the ads itself was enough. They should have probably, like, as content creators, hey, can you sponsor, like, a sponsor thing, maybe, like, have it like Honkai Impact, like asking C-Dog to make like a 30 seconds introduction, or just like stuff to get it to more people.
Reminds me of Reminds me of the PGR, the Counter-Strike incident. I forgot which game was it. They had a very bad start.
Punishing Grey Raven.
Right, that one had a really, really like rocky start to the game. It's still relevant today, like, I believe. Somehow, more relevant than Revive Witch, even despite the rocky start. Which goes to say the developers did their part.
Wasn't PGR like hosted by like a very bad company or something, like for EN? I thought it was something like Nox or something. Not Nox Player, but...
I can't recall the Nixon.
Nixon, yeah. Wasn't it like a really bad company? I thought it was Nixon.
I actually don't really know. I don't really know much about Nixon because I don't play much games from them. So even when I read things about them, I had no idea, because my impression of Nixon is that they were also one of the companies. I don't think they're the publisher or the developer. I think they're the publisher. But they were the publisher for Maple Story. Like, it was a very popular game in Southeast Asia. So that's my only impression. And Maple Story was a great game. So that's why I didn't understand when people say Nixon was bad. Today I have not read it.
I know nothing about any of these, but I feel like it might have also been Blue Archive that had Nixon. I'm not sure anymore. But it had a rough start. Like, I didn't see any ads, if I think about it, about PGR. I don't recall that I seen anything. It had great music. The game is amazing itself. So definitely one that should have also gotten or deserves right now more attention.
Yeah, but I think today it's doing fine. It's not the biggest of games.
Better.
Yeah, there's that. Through this time of like chatting with me, right? Because this is also one of the special times that we get to talk with each other. Was it something that you've been wanting to ask me or talk about with me that I didn't get to yet? Because I am hitting the end of whatsoever that I planned for us today.
Anything that I wanted to say, I have nothing in my mind right now. Like, if I would have something, I would probably just DM you about it. Like, if I had something before, but
no clue. It's perfectly fine if you don't have. Yeah.
I don't think I have any. Like, I can't think of anything interesting one to ask on the spot.
Right. I mean, the biggest curiosity of this call today is to really find out, like, how we ourselves felt when we first began streaming and to what it is today. Because I think for the two of us, we probably had one of the longest journeys. And there are other people as well, like Echo and Kyo, which I'm pretty excited to... Oh, this is going to be spoiler, but the next episode is going to have Echo on. So, people can be excited about that. But even... like, when we look at the Twitch space, for instance, then we are pretty much like the pioneers back then. There were other creators as well, but again, like I said, they were only on and off. So it's nice to hear how we felt, how we grew through it, and the fact that this has really changed us so much. Again, to like all the people that's watching, please understand that you all mean so much to us. You are like the energy for us to get through every single day, the motivation to make more videos, to stream more for you guys. I do not think the way that our content creation thus far has hit the point that it's considered sustainable living. A lot of people might assume that YouTubers and streamers, they probably earn like big bucks because they hear from other people, right? They're hearing like these guys are like millionaires, earning thousands, but I ain't earning that amount. We don't have to be fully transparent about it. But I believe, like, for myself, sorry?
You say you don't have to be fully transparent about it. Like, how transparent are you with, like, telling your audience, like, how much you make?
I am transparent.
You, like, I am absolutely transparent. Like, if you're fine with that, I would just give my numbers that I make on YouTube and Twitch.
I can tell people that during the current point in times, I'm earning less than... Mine is in SGD. So I would say Twitch and YouTube combined, I'm earning somewhere between 600 SGD to 900 SGD. In USD, that would be 400 to 700 or 800, around there.
Just with YouTube, or like also considering Twitch?
Yes, that was combined with Twitch.
Okay. What I make, I gotta find where I can. Like for YouTube, I made in the last 28 days 69 USD. Oh, no, not 69,
Yes.
96
That
USD.
is... Uh-huh.
And for Twitch, I gotta find it. Where do I see my income? $102. So about $200 I make with just Twitch and YouTube. And in Switzerland, to sustain your like livelihood, you would need to make 2,000. So I'm not even I'm about making 10% of what I actually would need to actually make a living out of it. So it ain't that easy.
Yeah, it's the same thing in my country. My country is Singapore, and we're rated to be the most expensive country in the world. So I mean, I can understand that this amount of money that I've stated, right, from 400 to 800 USD, this can mean a lot to some people in certain countries. But in my country, that is not sustainable. You know, this amount is good enough to like get me to say eat some food, you know, cover my food expenses for the month. But what it's not covering is that I'm not covering things like if I actually had a home. You know, am I going to need to pay rental? Am I going to need to pay the electricity bills? I still need to cover my school fees because I'm a student. And I literally worry every day that I fall into student debt. But I'm approaching, but I'm not there yet. So, expenses is a very, very scary thing. It's not easy to pop off on YouTube. Even when I had a conversation with Tuckdesk, right? I think you will know Tuckdesk as well. And Tuckdesk is like a much bigger YouTuber than us at 90,000. You might be surprised, by the way, Cesith, but he earns less than you.
Does he?
He does. He earns less than 100 USD per month.
Okay.
It sounds surprising, but the reasoning is that his videos are very short. Because, you know, whenever he makes his animation videos and all, they are like a minute or under, or even like 2 minutes. And that is not like sustainable for YouTube, for instance. And sometimes he doesn't even monetize his videos because there might be copyrighted sounds or copyrighted models that he used in the video. So out of respect, he will not monetize those videos. So it is a challenge to me when people say, oh, you can be like a successful YouTuber or streamer, that kind of thing. You need a large audience. Like if people feel what I have now is a large audience, I have to say it's not there yet. You know, a large audience is like saying you gotta clock a consistent 1,000 over viewers on Twitch. And then,
I mean,
sorry?
What is important to say like about audience and how big it should be. I think you can make a living out of like the audience you have right now, like from the size. But if you would have to make a different kind of like gamer content, for example, D&D, we make a lot of money with the D&D session we have like 30 or 40 viewers. Like there's just like different categories or like different games with communities that have like either more or less money. So it really depends like the accommodation of like your main audience. And that makes a huge difference of like how much income you have for like 100 viewers or something.
Yeah. I mean, I can also have this sort of understanding that the game that I'm playing right now is Arknights. I did a near light survey recently, and the surprising data is that out of 1,800 players, 75%, I think, stated that they didn't buy anything during the near light event.
Yep.
And that's a huge percentage. That's like the size of our free-to-play player base. So I'm not the kind of streamer or YouTuber that goes around and tell people like, hey, give me money, you know, subscribe to me and all that kind of thing. I don't like that. Because I understand the hardships that people have to go through the fact that a lot of people that are watching me are also students like me. They might be working for their family, for their own like spouse in the future and all. So I ain't the kind that's gonna be that sort of pretentious prick that you see on Twitch that telling you to subscribe every 10 minutes or 20 minutes, you know. I just want to be there to entertain you all. If you all truly want to support, you can go ahead and do just that. But if not, like, to me, my main focus is to just grow that sort of audience, because growing the audience just lets things naturally come. When you look at YouTube, was speaking ad revenue. And in order to get something as good as that, that basically means you need more people to watch you. But you can't just... It's probably going to be easy to just make clickbait stuff, get people to come in, and they get a little bit dissatisfied because they're not watching anything good. My focus in my YouTube videos has always been, sure, I need to make videos so that, you know, I can not just have an income for myself. By the way, I also have editors. So the amount of money that I stated doesn't only pay me. I also pay the people who edit videos for me. That means a portion of the revenue is gone as well. So it's like my main focus is to make good videos that people can thoroughly enjoy, and you're not paying a single cent. The only thing you're paying is your time of watching, and your time of watching translates to ads, and that ads translates to basically the revenue that's for myself. When it comes to Twitch recently has been very aggressive with their ads, so it comes in. It's not as good as YouTube, but Twitch is a matter of like people who want to support, whether it's like subscriptions and all. That kind of thing, I just let it be retro. It's really up to you guys. You know, I give all the sort of benefits of being able to use the emotes, having a nice little badge for yourself to view, and at least I'll be able to notice you a little bit more because of that badge, that is. So it's that kind of thing. To me, in order for me to do what I do at a sustainable level, I feel like I need to be clocking maybe even 100,000 people on YouTube. It's like subscriber count. To me, that's when, although to note, subscriber count does not translate to pure success, because at the end of the day, actually views matters the most. But to me, it's always a percentage. You know, if you have a certain subscriber base, a percentage of them are going to be watching your videos. So 100,000 is like that sort of nice little end goal for me. At the same time, I also don't think this is going to be sustainable if, let's say, I want to continue doing YouTube. I don't think AK is going to be the most sustainable thing for me, simply because it's a small niche player base. It's not going to get like the entire world watching. I do feel that eventually on YouTube, actually this is an interesting question as well. We had this question far in the past where you asked me, do you think you'll play Arknights forever? To which my answer is, I would kind of confidently say yes, unless the company screws up. Like, not just screw up, like big time screw up. If not, I would be playing it pretty much all the time. But I'm also realizing that I have a problem when it comes to creating the content that I make. That is, I can only capture so much viewership, so much audience. I need to eventually figure a way that people are not going to watch me just because I play this game. People are going to watch me because there, it's me. That gives me the sort of idea where maybe in the near future, you guys might see a second channel pop out of nowhere where I have no restrictions as to the type of content that I make. I ain't just going to make Arknights. I just want to make videos because it's me. And to me, that has a bigger, more promising sustainability, since it allows everyone to watch me. Then I can say maybe YouTube can become more sustainable. Is it sustainable now? It only feeds me for food. Like I said, I'm very worried about my university fees. So yeah.
I'm actually curious, beside Amakudari and Kyostin, is there a single person that you think makes enough money on YouTube and Twitch with Arknights content that can live from it? Like, I would say, I don't think a single content creator makes enough money to actually, like, only with Arknights to live from it.
I don't know if Kyo will be open to me if I ever do get in on Hangout, but I think Kyo would make a living so much so that it sustains both his actually pretty much all the basic living expenses. So we're talking like transportation, electricity, food, and even his school, because he's also in university. I actually think he might have enough to cover. And it's especially because of the fact that his channel is literally a guide farm, correct? He has guides for everything in the game, from the first level of the game to the last level of the game, and he also makes Genshin content as well. So he has double platforms that he can hold on to, and even if he doesn't make videos for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, all his old videos are still gonna be watched today. So there is that sort of, he can be fed pretty well. But is there anyone else that I think that could do it? There is one more.
Like, don't forget.
That's the Yu-Gi-Oh guy. There's one more. Oyuki. Oyuki is also very watched.
I haven't checked Oyuki in a long time. How is Oyuki doing?
Pretty damn well. Oyuki is also a very high viewership.
Nice. Are you streaming on Twitch?
No, Oyuki doesn't stream on Twitch. YouTube only. Yeah, but those three are the biggest. Even like other people, Tak is huge, but the problem is the way that he makes his videos. Echo is huge as well, but the thing is his videos are like not as more viewed as some others. There is one potential one that could have high viewership, which could be Chendro and Frostbite, but I don't think it's going to be like insanely high. Probably not enough to fully cover yet. Yeah.
Like, I would say only if they stream, they have a chance. Like, if they do YouTube streams, and then I see hope that they can make enough money, but without streams and just their content, I feel like there's not enough total views to accomplish this unless you upload 2 times every day.
Yeah. But I do have a sort of advice for people, because for me, right, when I do all this content creator thing, it's not like right now, do I think this is going to become a job? I honestly don't know, because of the fact that I'm studying something completely different. I'm studying programming at the moment, and for all I know, I might do something along the information technology side. But even so, for people who want to do this full time, do understand that it is actually perfectly fine for you to start out and to latch onto something. So what I mean by latch onto something is that if let's say you realize this game can grant you an audience, for instance, you see a new game, you want to be the main creator for it, I think it actually works out. As long as you have a nice, enjoyable personality for people to watch, you can eventually grow the audience. But do understand, the audience will be capped someday. There's only so many players that you can get to watch you. Eventually, like, if you look at the size of Arknights' official YouTube channel, it's 130,000. And that's the number of people who chose to follow or subscribe to there. And for myself, like, I'm not halfway there. But eventually, I'm not going to get the full 130k of people who watch me. There's going to be people who say, nah, I hate your content. You're going to get every single person who would like you to find you already at a certain point. So, I think one of the YouTube ideas that people will eventually realize is you can't stay in it forever. You actually need to do something different. Unless your goal is you will stay in it forever and not just grow the audience, but to maintain the audience, which I think maintaining the audience is one of the hardest things to do. Meaning to say, for example, if you feel, okay, I've reached the cap, 100,000 people are watching me right now, can you keep the 100,000 the same number going forth? Or is it going to dwindle to 90 to 80 to 70, that kind of thing? So, that's kind of the reasoning as to why I sense myself potentially one day changing the content that I do. But not in the channel that I'm making. I don't really wish to disrupt, like, my current YouTube channel, because I've made it fully based on AK. When I see the number of videos that I make right now, right, I think I have close to 400 videos posted.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine, like, one day I slap in a different game, for example. It's gonna make people very uncomfortable, like, oh my god, are you quitting Arknights and everything? Which I will say, no, I'm not. That's the kind of the thing that makes me feel like there's a good chance a second channel is coming in the way.
A second channel or a second game that you're gonna upload on your channel?
I think even a complete second channel, because even if I started a new game, I will probably put that game into the second channel. But will I do a second game and dedicate it as much as AK today? I actually doubt it. So, for example, if people say, "Oh, Cookie, if you get bored, for example, will you play Genshin and then become like a whole Genshin guide creator, make content all out of Genshin?" I actually doubt. I don't think I will do content like what I do for AK today.
Then the question is, do you view AK and Enfield as the same or not? If you answer this question.
Actually, because in the same branch of things, I actually will up if the Enfield comes. And let's say I have a second channel. Where will I put the content? I actually will put Enfield into my current channel.
Yeah. I mean, many people say like a few Genshin, a few Arknights and Arknights Enfield probably like the same type. But like, I think a lot of people will just decide to either decide on one thing, because when Enfield is new, there's gonna be a lot of things that you can make content about. Like, for example, Arknights is out for 2 years, and for some it's getting more and more difficult to find new videos they can make. I have like a list of like 10 videos that I want to make, and I don't know if it's gonna work out. But like, when Enfield is out, people that have been struggling to make content will have now so many more opportunities now that we will see a lot of Arknights content creators like upload for like the first months only Enfield.
Yeah.
That is I'm very sure about this.
I will be uploading Enfield content the moment that it's out into my own channel, but I will not drift away from AK as well. I actually think I'll enjoy Enfield thoroughly as a game. Reason being, I mean, it's sort of the trust to put in Hypergraph that they will create a great game that... I mean, Hypergraph has already done a humongous job of revolutionizing the idea of a tower defense game. This is a very unusual tower defense game if you think about it. Nothing makes us think as hard as we do. Other tower defense games can feel very linear. If we talk about Bloons Tower, all they do is just send the same colored balloons each time, maybe with just more or less, slow them down, quick speed them up, that's about it. If we talk about PvZ, they always release new zombies, which is great, and it's quite entertaining. But you know what's the biggest thing that I don't like about PvZ, or specifically PvZ 2, is that they gatekeep the plants by being pay to play, which is annoying. And AK doesn't do that. And at the very least, like, even the mechanics, AK is a lot more diverse in the way that they design their enemies and all. So, like, AK has done that before, and I feel that they are going to do the very same thing when Enfield arrives. So that's like my high expectations. But I'm also fine that they don't live up to it. I just hope for the best. I'll play when it's out. But if we talk about other games apart from the Arknights line of things, then I will probably upload them in a different channel. I don't even know if my second channel is gonna be like, me playing other games, or is it gonna be me making real life content. I haven't really narrowed down the type of content I want to make yet, but I do feel like I don't want to restrict myself. I want it to be the place for everything. I just want to do whatever I want. And
that sounds great.
If people want to come in and say, "Oh, you look like a cool guy, I'll hang out with you because you're doing whatever you want," then that's my biggest happiness. To people who's watching, let me know also. Like, you can write in the comments if you want to see me do something like that, because I'm curious. Like, how will my viewers feel when I expand into other areas without leaving Arknights? Again, I have no plans to do that. So yeah. You can also answer that. Do you think you'll ever leave Arknights before we go?
Leave. I would say leave. Like, obviously, like, I don't know if I'll make YouTube videos in like 10 years. That's the thing. But I will definitely add a second game to my channel because I don't know. I feel like it's better if I have like some kind of more variety. I'm afraid of like always uploading the same thing and it gets repetitive. So giving a new plot into the videos might be actually something I'm very interested in. I haven't decided yet which game I will be covering, but it will certainly happen that I will make something else than just Arknights.
Yeah. No, but I think it's for viewers to understand that it's a bit of an inevitability. If you want to be a surviving content creator, that is.
Yeah, I'm saying this all the time. Nothing is forever. You can believe that it's gonna be forever, but like one day, every game, everything will eventually just disappear. So keep that in mind.
You're reminding me of my relationships. Continue.
Well, okay, I can make it even more sad. At least you had one.
No. Can someone call up someone for Cesith right now?
It's all good. Like I could I got like a few people that asked like a few people. I have a few friends that want to hook me up or anything, but like I want to focus 100% on content. I don't have the time to manage a relationship right now.
You have to focus on work first.
So, yeah, work is for me important. Like I'm also like I was full time now for a long time, but right now I'm deciding to go like 50% working, get a flat, and actually make myself like a life that is worth living. You know, that's gonna be something I'm doing.
I do hope that you can achieve that, even the grand goal of your dreams, that is to eventually make a good living, and then maybe move to Japan as well.
That would be amazing. If it ever happens, that would be an amazing thing, but until then there's still a long path ahead of me.
Right, of course. To close off, to all the people who's tuning in to watch yourself today, what would you say to them?
You hit me with a hard question.
Really?
What? Yeah, what would I say to them that tuned in? Like, if you got to this point,
yeah,
first of
there
all,
are many.
Thank you so much for watching. Like, we're like 1.5 hours and 2 hours.
1.5 hours.
So that is amazing that you actually watch everything, and I think we both can say we really appreciate it. And to you, as like an ending message, I would say I know my Twitch audience expect me now to say feet, which I'm not giving to them. So my ending message is toes.
Oh my god! Okay. I just realized the foot is right beside you. Goodness sake! I didn't see the entire stream. Oh my god! I've been talking to you without realizing it. Oh,
it has been always there. It's my Twitch called it girlfriend, which I don't think is the best name, but yeah, it has always been there.
Well, at some point, maybe one of the viewers has actually grown accustomed to it and want it to become their girlfriend. You can give it to them. You sell it to them.
I mean, if someone wants it, I can give an autograph on it and can send it out. I'm actually really happy if it's finally gone. So if you pay the shipping fees, you can have it for 10 or 20 bucks.
We hope to even see you in conventions for all we know. Maybe in the future, now that COVID-19 is dropping, in a sense, hopefully, you get a chance to interact with your viewers a little more closely as well. But if not, right, thanks for being here for today. I think I'm going to stop the recording here. You can say bye-bye to the camera. You get it? So,
well, my usual bye-bye. Bye-bye, Semester. Have a good one.
Yeah, let's go. Bye, all.
Bye-bye.
Okay.